What's up? My name is Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back. And from the New York Post, Joe Rogan's dad claims, quote, money went to his head as Spotify futures questioned after Jewish comments. So they really can't stand Joe Rogan. We already did this once. That tape of him dropping the N-bomb a couple times surfaced when I forget why they were trying to take him down. Oh, because he said that some other cure for Rona did good for him. I don't know exactly why they were trying to take him down at this point. They just hate successful men, so they got to get rid of him. And now apparently he said something about the people who you can't say anything about. So I guess in a weird way, we know who you can talk about. We know there's a certain group of people that you can say or do whatever you want to, and nothing will basically happen. But there is another group that you can't even discuss, even in a jovial, joking manner. Nothing. You can't do that. Well, there's a couple groups that you can't joke about without getting, attacked and canceled and kicked off social media and lose your $1 billion contract. Joe Rogan is one of the most powerful men in America. The Joe Rogan Experience is the #1 podcast in the world, providing a place in which he gets to sit back, smoke weed, and ruminate with pals including Elon Musk and a slew of scientists like Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is not really a scientist. He's a scumbag, hack, political establishment crony. But there are rumblings about the podcaster's future with Spotify, with which he signed a rumored 3-year, $200 million deal in 2020. As the clock winds down, the Sweden-based streamer won't confirm when his deal is up. What? Sweden? Anyhow, only telling the Post that his contract doesn't end this year. It was announced this week that Max Cutler, the point person who looked after Rogan at Spotify, is leaving the company. Rogan, who is on a non-exclusive deal, walks a fine line with Spotify. The company has no creative control over his content, but he still has to adhere to its guidelines. So his guidelines are don't go against the narrative. That's the guidelines. Look at these ads, are crazy. The 55-year-old father of 3, who has previously said, I talk S for a living, made headlines back in 2021 for his controversial comments about the Rona, juice, the Pharmafia, elixir concoction. He claimed, then later apologized for saying that healthy young Americans don't need to worry about getting it. Yeah, that was so extreme. That was out of line. Hey, are you a doctor? Are you a doctor? That was Dana White. Remember that clip? I don't know. When Dana White said he used something else to get rid of Rona. Now look, I'm not on the. Let me stop before I get kicked off YouTube for saying something super extreme about Rona. Rogan has also faced backlash over his use of the N-word. See, they just come. This is it, right? They come after him every couple of months. They got to come after Joe Rogan because he's just sitting back talking to people and he's successful doing that, and they don't like it. And his comments on transgender, of course. So black people, Transformers, Rona, and now the Jews, which you can't talk about. You can't say that. And the Post is told that some Spotify staffers were antagonized by his most recent comments on Jews, including saying, quote, the idea that Jewish people didn't like money is ridiculous. That's like saying Italians aren't into pizza. Oh, wow, so extreme. Cancel this man. Cancel this guy. That is inappropriate, out of line. Why do they want to get, he's clearly the biggest podcast on the platform. People like him. They just can't understand that people are not worried about walking on eggshells for every single little thing that the establishment wants you to. That's how he became the biggest one. He didn't become the biggest podcast because every single thing he said was incredibly safe. And even though what they're saying he said none of it's extreme. Literally none of it. The only thing that's extreme is a guy saying, I'm a woman. A man turning his little boy into a little girl. That's extreme. As Jonathan Greenblatt, director of the Anti-Defamation League, told the Post, it's disturbing that at a time of rising anti-Jewish violence, when growing numbers of Americans believe in anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. Oh, yeah? Is that right? Like Weinstein, Epstein, the list goes on, bro. Right? Sam Bankman-Fried, Bernie Madoff, right? Can you say those names in a sentence, or is that racist? Is that racist? Is that anti-Semitic? To point out that, look, I'm okay with pointing out the, 13 or technically 7% crowd is committing more than 50% of the crime, right? You can't say that. But it it can't be racist if it's true. It can be racist, but it can also be funny, right? So everybody just needs to stop being so serious. But I mean, dare I say it? Every single time that somebody tries to shut up another person for saying one thing about a certain group of people, that group only proves what those people are saying about them. Does that make sense? Every time you censor somebody for saying something that they don't like, it only proves that they are, hovering over the target, that they are nearly accurate, okay? Joe would use his immense platform to spew anti-Semitism. Oh, God. It's just a power grab. Don't say anything about us. It's insane, really. It is. There's this compound, I guess. Reached at his New Jersey home this week, Rogan's estranged father, Joe Rogan Sr., 81, had a message for his son. Who are you to judge people? Who made you God last night? Oh, Joe is Joe's dad? I mean, have they gotten to him? Is he part of the establishment? Why is he angry at Joe? Does he want money? Joe Rogan Sr. told the Post, quote, I'm not prejudiced. Everybody has to live, and I teach my kids that. This bothers me. The money went to his head and got bigger than his hat. He fools people. Okay. Multiple sources confirmed that Rogan did not breach any Spotify guidelines on the episode, which has not been pulled. Yeah, he didn't, because nothing he said was that crazy. I didn't hear the whole podcast. I didn't hear it. These things are 3 hours at a time. Nobody has time to listen to all that. But I can almost guarantee, look, this might be something if you guys didn't already try to take Joe Rogan down twice, at least, in the last year or so. You've already tried to take him down. Now you're talking to his dad, and his dad is saying, "Oh, the money went to his head." He probably just wants a handout. Honestly, I mean, he's getting he's 81. He's watching his son, be this multimillionaire, and maybe he's not quite that happy. I don't know. The Spotify source said the music streaming giant is a complicated platform, and that higher ups have stuck by Rogan. Yeah, well, he's their cash cow. He's the biggest podcast in the world. So you'd be a fool to get rid of him because he says one thing that you don't like, even though it wasn't extreme at all. But these people are so offended by the tiniest little thing. The tiniest little thing gets them all. And is it even real? The pearl clutching is not real. It's just a show of allegiance to the establishment, right? They don't really care. They just, see how woke I am. See how angry I am? See, oh man, this guy's a racist. Oh man, look at me. I'm super concerned. Look at me. I'm one of you guys. They're just, capitulating to get on the good side of the machine blob regime establishment. I don't know, mega farm mafia media conglomerate political blob. It's disgusting. These people. Greenblatt added that although the ADL does not, quote, typically recommend potential punishments or penalties, except in extreme cases like Kanye West. Oh, so extreme. So extreme. So he's recommending a punishment for Kanye West because that's so extreme. I wouldn't do that. It's clear that he wants complete control. And that's exactly what people are saying. That's the conspiracy. And here you are doing exactly that. The conspiracy is that a certain group of people has control of the media, not to mention the banks and real estate and all sorts of stuff. Different story. But when people theorize that you might have control and then you go out and say, I'm recommending a punishment for you speaking out of line, it's proving the point. That's all that's happening. You have a whole bunch of Jewish guys that show up courtside to, they pay thousands of dollars for basketball tickets to heckle Kyrie Irving. You're only proving the point. Spotify spokesperson responds, Spotify has made and will continue to make significant investments in both human and algorithmic detection measures to help ensure our platform provides a safe experience. How about this? If they say something you don't like, change the station. It's that simple. Every time somebody says something that you don't like, you want them completely gone. So anything that you do like needs to be mandatory, and anything that you don't like needs to be banned. You can't just change the channel. It's crazy. It's absolute insanity. I don't know what these pictures are all about. Oh, news radio. Okay. It's not bad for someone who once said, I'm not a doctor, I'm an effing moron. In 2020, he left Los Angeles, his home of 2 decades, and moved to Austin, Texas with his wife, Jessica, and their daughters. Rogan's parents, Susan and Joe, divorced when he was a young child. Rogan has accused his father of domestic violence. Oh, so there you have it. So they have a long-standing beef, and now Rogan's dad appears to be siding with the establishment. That's what it sounds like to me. A former Harrison, New Jersey Police Department officer denies all the claims, of course. He still wants to see his son, however, and wants Rogan to meet his and then here's him with this CNN hack, Kumail Bell in 2014. Oh, wow, young Joe with hair and Carmen Electra. Well, they're going all the way back just to smear Joe for saying that Jews like money. I mean, everybody likes money. I don't even see why that's bad. This is crazy. In February 2022, Spotify removed 70 episodes that included racially insensitive. This is crazy. They removed 70 episodes that included racially insensitive language. According to who? Who was offended by it? I mean, this guy is the most. He's the most, middle of the road regular dude, bro, on the planet, and they just can't stand that he's successful simply for chatting it up with people. This is insane. So I don't think Joe Rogan he's literally apologized, right? And that never works. He literally walks right down the middle on every single thing. He was a Bernie bro. Nothing this man, excuse me, nothing this man has said has ever really been extreme. Even the stuff that Kanye said was not that extreme. The really extreme stuff doesn't even, extreme is up for debate, right? And that's how they manipulate the words. They manipulate every single word. Oh, this is extreme. This is racist. This is, stigmatizing. They manipulate every single word, and they just don't like that Joe Rogan is successful. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe.